Welcome back to Breakfast Ball. Let's talk about Patrick Mahomes, the world's greatest American quarterback. Some are saying it. With 3 Super Bowl titles and 3 Super Bowl MVPs under his belt, Mahomes has the Chiefs sitting at an impressive 12-1. He recently sat down with Sports Illustrated and shared some thoughts that are generating a lot of buzz. He said, obviously, that's the hope, to be someone like Jordan, someone with a significant impact on the game. I want to excel in high-pressure moments. He even drew parallels to Tom Brady, indicating he's aiming for greatness in the same realm. So, the question on everyone's mind is Mahomes on his way to MJ or Brady status? Danny, what do you think? Absolutely. I've got stats to back it up, but there's also just the eye test. We've all watched sports our entire lives. You've played at the highest level. It's an instinct. Mahomes is undeniably the most talented player ever to play quarterback. Sure, he might not end up with the best trophy case compared to Tom Brady, who played for decades and won multiple championships across generations. But the numbers don't lie. He's pacing for greatness. When you look at their stats through 127 starts, playoffs included, they have nearly identical win-loss records, the same number of Super Bowls, but Mahomes has an extra MVP, an extra Super Bowl MVP, more passing touchdowns, and more passing yards. The caveat: Brady played 15 more years after that point and won a Super Bowl 13 years later. His longevity is unprecedented. But it doesn't diminish what Mahomes is achieving. He's already in the conversation for the Mount Rushmore of all-time greats, just like Jordan and Brady, especially when it comes to performing in clutch moments. Sure, he might never reach MJ's 6 championships or Brady's 7, and that doesn't lessen his greatness. I'd say he's more like Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest of his generation, but maybe just a bit short of being labeled the greatest of all time. I get where you're coming from, and he's definitely in that conversation with the all-time greats like Joe Montana and Brady. There's something about his aura, the dominance he brings to the game. Think of athletes like Mike Tyson or Tiger Woods in their prime, psychologically dominant. When Mahomes gets the ball, especially at the end of the game, there's an aura that says, "We're going to win." If you give him time on the clock, he's going to make something happen. Just look at that playoff game last year, 13 seconds, and he won. But I agree with you. While we can acknowledge his greatness, we shouldn't diminish MJ or Brady's achievements. There's a psychological edge he possesses, much like those legends. And you mentioned longevity. I think that's key. If Mahomes ends up with a few more Super Bowls, we can revisit this conversation in a few years. But right now, he's not Brady or Jordan. Right, he's an all-time great, but those comparisons can do a disservice to the legacies of MJ and Tom Brady. Now, let's shift gears and look ahead to a big matchup in Pennsylvania. We've got the 10-3 Steelers taking on the 11-2 Eagles. Russell Wilson is 6-1 as a starter, and Jalen Hurts has 29 total TDs this season. The Steelers are just 2 games behind the Chiefs for that #1 seed. So what would a win mean for Pittsburgh? A ton. It would be massive for them. They believe they are Super Bowl contenders, but the general public isn't quite there yet. They've got 4 wins over playoff teams, but none of them are division winners. If they can go to Philly and win, it'll definitely change the narrative around them. Absolutely. If Pittsburgh can pull off that win, they'll announce themselves as serious contenders. It won't matter who they've beaten in the past. A victory here would show they deserve the respect. And it's not their fault who's on their schedule. They beat who they've faced and have shown consistent improvement throughout the year. But let's be honest, they need that big win to start getting the public's attention. Exactly. People need to wake up to the fact that the Steelers are a formidable team. And they've been winning games in ways we didn't expect. Russell Wilson, despite the doubts this season, has been impressive, and with their defense healthy, they're a force.